It is valued.
All right, folks, we're about to get started here. Just want to remind everybody, silence your cell phones, keep papers, etc. Yeah, keep me on your second job.
What? It's the cord. We need a new one.
That's really close.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be able to afford one of those.
Yeah. He thought that one was okay, but
What our kids need.
Oh, no, it's just totally. I'm sorry, no, that was like 12 and a half, and maybe it's for something else.
it's been somehow.
But no, I go to like. Well,
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to pray with me. Lord Jesus, among the names that we find in the scriptures, you are called King of Kings, Lord of Lords, very God, or very God. You're also called Prince of Peace. We thank you, Lord, that perfect and lasting peace only comes through you. We praise you, dear Lord, for the peace process that is now underway in the Middle East. We ask that you will be with our president and other world leaders that are working together to make this happen. We continue to pray for all on either side of the conflict as the hostages return to their families and many of the Palestinian people are able to return to their homes, even though their homes have been devastated by war. We pray that the destruction can be rebuilt and that there will be lasting peace. We also pray that peace will come to Russia and Ukraine. And now, dear Lord, as we are about to conduct this meeting tonight, this council, give them wisdom to make the very best decisions for the benefit of all the residents of Blissfield and the surrounding area. Continue to protect those who protect us, specifically our police officers and our firefighters. In the precious name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Thanks, Pastor. All righty, welcome everybody. We do have quite a long agenda today. We'll try to get through here and keep it all night long. We'll start with roll call, Lisa.
Gwen Dusa.
Here.
Bill Gritzmaker.
Here.
Sherry Luce.
Yeah.
Ken Nichols.
Here.
Eric Rogers. Timothy Waters.
Present.
Mike Gunner.
On to minutes from our previous regular meeting, September 25th.
I move to approve the minutes of September 22nd of 2025 as presented.
Or. Motion Gwen, second Bill to approve minutes of September 22nd, 2025 as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, Lisa, call roll.
Ken.
Yes.
Tim.
Yes.
Sherry.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Gwen.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes, the motion carries. Moving on to presentations and communications, we do have a proclamation in front of us. We also do have Geraldine Morris from Protective Parents of Michigan on Zoom. Geraldine, would you like to make any comments for the public?
Yes, did you want me to go right now?
Off camera, what's going on with it?
We need new cords.
Good evening. My name is Geraldine and I'm a member of Protective Parents Michigan. I would like to thank the Village of Blissfield for acknowledging that child safety should be the priority in family court and custody decisions. 1 in 3 Michigan families are directly impacted by domestic violence. but abuse also affects each one of us and our communities. Without proper training for family courts on domestic violence, children continue to be exposed to abuse, and families need more social support, putting an extra strain on local services like shelters, counseling, and child protective services. Post-separation abuse in family court puts the children in harm's way because abusive parents are more likely to seek sole custody and are successful 70% of the time. Tragically, abuse is often not understood or believed by the courts, and many children are ordered into unsupervised contact with abusive parents. I want to share some statistics so you can see why family court reform is needed. 60% of perpetrators who abuse their spouse will abuse their child. Adverse childhood experiences such as abuse negatively impact a child's development, their relationships, and their mental and physical health. Most child abuse is perpetrated in the family by a parent. And one child dies every 6 days amid custody fights and family court cases. Since 2008, 39 Michigan children have been murdered during divorce or custody battles. One of these children was Rowan Maury Poles of Caledonia, Michigan, who was not returned to his mother at the end of the father's parenting time and was later found to be a victim of murder-suicide. Rowan's mom had been unable to have an Amber Alert issued despite appealing to police and the family court judge. A new law that has passed the Michigan House and is being considered by the Senate is Rowan's Act. This would allow state police to issue an Amber Alert more quickly when a child is considered to be in danger. We are also trying to establish Caden's Law in Michigan to prevent future tragedies. Caden's Law is focused on prioritizing child protection over parents' rights. Caden's Law would require training for judges about all types of abuse, and judges would need to consider past history of domestic violence when making custody decisions. Our children's lives are literally dependent on the courts becoming educated on these issues. Thank you for proclaiming November as Family Court Awareness Month in the village of Blissfield. If you would like to support Caden's Law, please contact your state representative and the Family and Veterans Committee members in the Michigan House. To support Rowan's Act, please contact your state senator. If you or someone you know is struggling to protect children in family court, please connect with Protective Parents Michigan Facebook support group and the rowanproject.org website.
Carolyn, the past couple of years, Village Council has approved proclamation to declare November to be Family Court Awareness Month. We will do that as well this year. We will post this. It's quite long, so if you do want to read it, it'll be available. But much like she alluded to, the mission of the Family Court Awareness Month is to highlight the need to prioritize child safety in family court, as 1 in 3 families in Michigan are exposed to domestic abuse. And Family Court Awareness Month aims to encourage collaboration among legislators, advocates, professionals, and the community to improve family court practices, ensuring they are guided by evidence-based research and prioritize the safety and best interests of children. That said, we will hereby declare the month of November 2025 to be Family Court Awareness Month. Thanks, Cheryl, for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on, we do also have public hearing regarding the proposed Parks and Rec plan. We would need to open the public hearing regarding said master plan.
I need to open public hearing for the Parks and Recreation Master Plan.
Support.
Motion Bill second Gwen to open the public hearing regarding the Parks and Rec master plan. Please call roll.
Sherry,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Carries. Is there anyone from the public who does want to speak regarding the Parks and Rec plan? Any other agenda item or any comments will be further down the agenda. If nobody wishes to speak, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing for the Parks and Rec master plan.
Motion to close public hearing for the Parks and Recreation.
And I will support.
I got a motion, Bill, and second Gwen, to close public hearing for the Parks and Rec Master Plan. Lisa, call roll.
Tim,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, motion carries. Moving on, we'll need to approve the agenda as presented or amended.
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll support.
Motion Tim, second Sherry, to approve the agenda of October 13th, 2025 as presented. Any discussion? If not, Lisa, call roll.
Gwen,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, motion carries. Moving on. Public comment, anybody who cares to address council regarding any sort of topic on the agenda or not. Just keep in mind, there's a 5-minute rule for each. Anyone that does wish to speak, please approach the podium, state your name for the record.
Name's Harold Miller. I go by Butch. You know me. What I'm trying to get for the last 10 years, my family and I and Gary Holmes have attended it's a German Memorial Day in Battle Creek at the Custer National Cemetery. They have a program for us called Forgotten 26. 16 of those German soldiers died here in Blissfield in 1945 in the accident that was just east of town. I usually make up a wreath, put on it that comes from Blissfield, and they have a short ceremony, maybe a half hour, and then they all go over to the Augusta VFW and just have like snacks or whatever. But I tried to get somebody from the village to represent the village to go along with us. So I'm just bringing it up, and it is November 16th. It's on a Sunday, and the program starts at 2 p.m. at the cemetery. If anybody's interested, you can let me know and give them direction. Or
Which cemetery was that? Which did you say?
Custer National Cemetery in Battle Creek. It's a lot longer to drive over there than it is for the program, but it's kind of neat. They sing songs in German, and they have a speaker, sometimes from the German consulate, military that speaks a little bit. It's pretty neat. You get to present a wreath, whatever wreath you take to the graves, and short program, but it's memorable. Any questions they can?
Yeah, Butch, I have a question. Is there anything online that we could watch to see this? Has it been posted to any place?
Should be, the German American community in Augusta is ones that really put it on. And the head guy is Randy O'Neill. He's the organizing committee chairman. I do have his email and phone number. I don't really have a website for them, but I think if you look on the battlefield or the cemetery site, it should be something on there.
Great, gives me a place to start. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Can you confirm that date and time again? I apologize. I want to make sure I have it correct.
Okay, be Sunday, November 16th at 2 p.m.
Thank you.
We'll certainly reach out if we can get a representative from the village.
I'll stick around if anybody's got any other.
Perfect. Thanks, sir. Very interesting, part of our history, the POW came over here, and then also the crashes which dated, so very interesting. Thanks, sir. Anybody further that cares to address council?
Wells.
Oh, sir.
Hi,
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Glenn, well, no, just public speaking.
You're fine.
I
Thank you.
think I just have some bullet points, but I think I speak for a lot of residents in the community about water rates. And I was at a recent meeting, some discussions about this and such, but I think the village needs to know that there are residents in town that are not recommending people move to town to buy homes. And I don't know names, but I have heard very realtors that are speaking of this. And I think that what it's doing is driving us to a non-destination town. That's my opinion, that's my view. I don't know how over 10 years, my math could be fuzzy, so we can correct it, but
Your math is not fuzzy.
300% increase since I moved. In 10 years, in 2015, I found a bill for $50. I'll give you that, we've added 3 children that are at home, so yes, we're gonna have more water usage. But it can't be sustainable for long term, something needs to be relooked at, I think, and whether it, I don't know the details of the whole why, right, that's big as a topic, but I need that, you probably hear this all the time, whether it's public or myth. So I decided not to be a keyboard warrior. So, those are a few things I wanted to bring up. Honestly, the quality of the water we pay for sometimes we don't drink our water, we buy water. We should be able to drink it if it's paying for it. Let's have bullet points here. Hit that one. I got 2 more things. One of the final questions I might do. Myself. The last one is that actually this could be a question also. Why do we only have a one-time late fee for water? Missing a water payment when it's been 1 day late. I don't understand that. I get a 15-day grace period on my mortgage. Was well more than a water bill. Need somebody to answer that question.
Never been considered, I believe, to be honest with you. It's never been discussed anyway.
Okay, I think it would help the residents feel a little better. Maybe it's a small win. You give them a larger grace period than just sorry, it was a 26. You know, some people have jobs they can't get to before the hours close. That should be a consideration. Another question I have is who owns the property where the clock tower is that gets water during rain? Does anybody know that question?
Yeah, America Park, yeah, that's a village property.
It's really sour taste when we drive by in the morning and it's raining or misting and the sprinklers are running. I mean, why do we need to? I know it's probably not scheduled, but when we pay what we pay for water and then we see that, it really hits home. It's hard. Had another thought. So I don't have anything else to add and just double check. Chip and scratch and see. That is all I have to make on maybe some considerations, but appreciate your time.
Understood. We are definitely listening. We do understand we have frustrations regarding the water. That's one thing that we're working hard on and trying to get people answers, trying to be transparent on why rates are what they are, as well as, you know, we're working with consultants, engineers, et cetera. Take a look back, you know, start from scratch and say, what is the most efficient economic way to provide water for our citizens? So it is definitely on our radar. We pay those water rates as well, so we totally get it.
Yeah, I don't know how a young family can swing.
We all concur. It is, I would agree with what Mike has said, but I would probably add a little bit onto that, meaning it is in the forefront of our thoughts. We have, that is if not a each meeting. It's definitely discussed per month. Something going in the direction of the water bill, of where we're going with, the transparency of the quality of the water. Nora is sitting right here and she's, our person that is in charge of the water treatment plant. We can give some answers, but some of the, questions are still, questions everybody has, even though the answers have been given. I know they're not always given perhaps to where we, as lay people, we don't work in the facility, understand it, but there are things in the works. Mike alluded to the same thing. We pay the same bill. Your math is not fuzzy. Your math is straight on, buddy. And you're absolutely right. We have all sat here and said the same thing. I can assure you that doesn't make it right, doesn't make it better, but we understand exactly where you're coming from. As far as being a keyboard warrior, you're absolutely right. I appreciate you coming here and speaking to us directly. If you would really like to get more in depth with someone that's crazy more knowledgeable, I believe, than what council is. Talk to Danielle Gross, our administrator, and I feel very confident that Danielle can give you a much more succinct level of where we're going with this and what our hopes are for our water, because we are not happy with the rates and where it is currently right now.
I will say she has helped us a little bit.
That's good. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Thanks, sir. Okay.
Jackie Bates. In reference to what that just said, there is a assistance chart on the homepage. It's part of the bulletin that comes up every whenever they change it for your income, how many people for assistance with the water bill. And it's dated 2024. And I just wonder if it's been updated, should we change that? It may be different in 2025. Some people will need that, and that would be a good place for them to go and check it out. But it needs to be updated.
That is the most up to date.
24?
Yes, we don't, that's not produced by us and shared by us, and they send us the updates and as if they make a change to that, then we change it on our website, but that is the last time they did any.
Well, everything goes up, so I thought maybe that changed too. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.
Hi, I'm Tracy Brisboy. I think it's really brief. Just wanted to say that I concur with what Clint said. That's the reason I'm here. I think the water is, I really don't have words for it. I moved here in 2013. Had 3 people in my family, same amount, and I paid probably somewhere about $70. Now I'm paying about $200. I can't drink the water. Spend another $50 on filters just to be able to drink it. You wash your face, it smells like dirt, it smells like mildew. I thought I had a leak, I had mold, and I realized it was just the water that smelled bad. So I'm just very concerned. Then I also have to refill water so I can use it in my coffee maker so it doesn't ruin that. But I mean, I just feel like it's this endless battle of when's the next increase gonna be? So just want to make sure that my voice is heard. Tracy, could you spell your last name for me, please? BRIS hyphen BOIS. Now, how do you say that correctly? You can just say Brisboy. Brisboy. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else who does care to address council? You know, it's intimidating staying at that podium, like the other something.
We do appreciate you coming in and actually talking instead of being a keyboard warrior as well.
We will continue to try to be, we will try to continue to be transparent regarding the water rates and you know, how the funds work and how the system works, and it's not a pretty picture. You know, we've still got a lot of underground infrastructure underground. We've got lead lines that the state's gonna require us to replace. About 400 of those in the village. That's gonna be approximately $7,000 to $10,000 each. If you'd like to speak, sir, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm John Jordan, and I'm curious when the water lines are gonna be replaced. Mine was said that it was gonna be done, and I haven't heard anything about it.
Your service line to your home, to your residence. We have.
I think we had a problem finding somebody to do the boring, but
Okay. You could probably get with Brent or Danielle and get a definitive answer. We don't have that in front of us. We're trying to piece it out, space it out within the scope that the state's
we're paying
allowing
us
us.
a godly price for the water, so
Yep.
we should at least have good water lines coming into our house.
Understood, yep. And those, anything past the main is technically a homeowner's responsibility. The state is required,
Oh,
the village.
the
to
letter
replace
they
that.
sent out said that you guys were paying for it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's a state requirement, so yeah, so it's just a matter of funding and doing it without, breaking the bank and raising rates to where it's killing all of us, we totally understand, so. Yep, that's something we could probably get you a better date times based on your address,
Okay, thank you.
thanks, sir. Yes, sir.
So. You get the first one out of the way, it's easier. Are there any grants that could be secured for replacing, we said $7,000 to $10,000? Would that be?
For residents, yeah. We have looked at grants and currently there aren't any out there that we have found, but again, Danielle and I'm sure Nora and Brent are always looking and interested.
Okay.
If somebody's gonna apply for it, somebody's gonna get it, why we wouldn't, so absolutely.
We did have one grant, correct?
We did for the pothole.
We did get a grant to identify all of the lead service lines in Blissfield. It was the TMF grant for Eagle. But that did not cover the replacement. There's currently no grant programs that cover the replacement, but it is something we're monitoring. There would have been a lot of changes with the change at several levels and stuff. So we're just still watching that, but not right now.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so initially they had to, I mean, we knew that there were lines that were lead lines. So then, well, who had the lead lines? Now we've got that part answered. Now we have to go to the next step. So that's, it might not seem like it's a big step, but at least it's a step. And I did. Going in the right direction, but it's a slow process.
And that's something we wouldn't have been able to do without that grant funding, again, the state requires us to nitpick sort of a guesstimate of digging down and seeing who has a lead line, but they didn't require us to search every single line in town, which is, doesn't, again, that's government bureaucracy at its best, it doesn't make sense to me. But because of that grant, we were able to pothole down and seek every line in town so that we know whether or not you do have a lead service line to your residence. So again, it's baby steps, it's expensive, but we are doing our best to move forward.
Thank you.
Anybody else who cares to address council? Good dialogue, appreciate people's comments, thank you for that. We'll move on to unfinished business, council, anything? No?
No.
Left side? Sure. Okay. All right, we'll move on to new business, first the payroll.
I move to approve the payroll register for September 2025 in the amount of $184,290.99.
Support.
Motion went second bill to approve payroll register September 2025 in the amount of $184,290.99. Any discussion or questions on payroll? Now, Lisa, call roll.
Sherry,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, motion carries. Actually, yes, unfinished business, moving back to Charlie up real quick if you guys don't care. Some of us have noticed our water bills did see an increase this past month. Danielle, do we know if the new fee structure was added to this month, or is that just an oddity?
No, it was added. October 1st is the effective date of the new fee schedule.
I guess my question would be, that was the pay period, the billing period was August to September 15th or whatever. Shouldn't we have waited until the actual fee schedule of that month setting the places? Does it feel like we're a month early on that?
That's how we've done it, at least since I've been here, and I believe before that was our practice, so we've maintained that same practice. If you guys want to change it, but we're staff is willing to do whatever you guys would like.
And again, it's ugly, I pay it, I just pay it because I have to pay it, I get it, but again, you know, if people are seeing these $8 increases or $10, $15 increases, they brought it up to me, it's like, well, it does make sense. The billing period ended on September 15th. So for me, it would make sense that they paid for the rate of the prior fiscal year's rates at that time. We didn't send out the bills until October, but the billing period ended September 15th, it should have been at last year's rate. And again, maybe precedents didn't do that, but to me, it makes sense that in the future, we set our rates at or October 1st, so when October 1st starts, that should be the billing for at that year, fiscal year's rates. Yes. I know it doesn't make it easier for reads, but again, the rates are what they are. People are very cognizant of the increases.
So the rate would actually not go into effect until October 16th. Is what you're asking staff?
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
And are you wanting us to go back and correct that this month, or you're wanting us next year? Because I don't know that we can change it. We would have to go in and like calculate every single account's adjustment and manually do it.
It's certainly easier not having you guys read, you know, we have the new automated system, which could save on that, but I get that you're kind of piecemealing half of a month or half of a month, so. I personally would like to see a rollback, that's not up to me, again, that's up to council, but again, I think just being honest, being transparent. If we build from August, whatever, to September 15th, they should have paid this, the rates set more than that. And again, I'm not pointing fingers or anything, I just did something that was pointed out to me and something that was found, I think that's the right thing to do. I think you should pay the rate. Much like if you apply for a home, you know, if you're gonna build a house, start October 1st, so get there.
I have no preference what you guys want to do. What I'm asking you, I guess it's two parts. One, if you want us to do that moving forward, I would like a motion from all of council. Two, I'm asking if you want us, the only way to correct what we've already done is to go into every single individual account and manually create a credit. Are you wanting us to go back this year, or are you wanting us to implement that practice next year? So I just would like clarification on that, because if you're asking that, I also want to be very clear that that will not happen tomorrow. So our residents, if you guys want us to go back, cannot come in tomorrow and think that we're gonna have that adjusted, because it literally will be pulling every individual account one at a time. We will do it, but it's going to take us some time. And then again, you're changing our common practice. I have no preference, but I think it should be all of council directing us to do that.
Sure, you know, again, that is gonna take a lot of time, and I'm not sure the benefit, unfortunately, it's, you know, kind of past the, you know, past the happening of it being done, but, you know, something for the future, again, trying to get to the residents to understand that, hey, we pay these rates too, we get it. Frustrating for us too. The water funds fund themselves, the sewer funds fund themselves, it's not like we can take from other areas and shuffle it in there. So again, this is, some people are watching, and if we set these rates at October 1st, we should start October 1st.
You know, what would a motion look like, to go forth in 2026? If we were to go ahead and not go with the same.
So I think you could something move to implement fees, or to move to have fees go into effect based on water usage period rather than billing dates or something like that, I think.
Well, let me go this one, Mike. What if we,
You know, you could say to have the rate going to impact November 1st.
well, if we're not looking at going somewhere current, but we're going to 2026. Would we work on a motion for next month and introduce it next month as part of the agenda?
Yes, and could we also make it part of the motion when you adopt fees? So when we look at fees next, because you've set your fees for this year, so we typically review them annually.
Right.
So we could make it part of the motion. I don't think just saying November 1st, because then under that logic, we're not billing until November, really December, because you're wanting us to base it on usage, not billing cycle.
Correct.
Um,
How
Well,
much
we-
of a pain in the butt would it be to do the half a month, just the one time every year, to where it starts at?
we would have to
you would
create,
give a read,
we'd have to create two bills.
right,
That'd be the only way. Our billing program won't allow us to set two different rates. Otherwise, what it would, if we had to, it would, I think, charge the full amount under both rates. So it would have to be the two bills.
I'm okay with making that change for next year, along with the fee. Along with the fee schedule, so that it all goes into that price and start the new.
So I'll make a note of that when we look
yeah,
at
we do
these
50
next
to
year.
50, that,
I'll actually, I'll even include it right on our budget calendar, just so all of us.
I mean, I'm okay with
remind each
I
other.
would say as long as it doesn't create more work in another area, that's going to eliminate the money that we could be saving in this section.
Exactly.
yeah, I get there's only so many of you guys up front. You do it at very busy work schedules, so, but again, we need to be accurate, fair to our residents.
But what, at what?
At what cost?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to exactly that, but,
Just
do you want a motion? Do you want to make that motion?
No, let's put it together, first.
Okay.
And they'll make it at the next meeting is my suggestion.
Works for me, thank you, sorry about that. All right, we got a lot on the table here, we'll move on, house payable number 2.
Move to approve accounts payable for the period of September 10, 2025 to October 14, 2025, in the amount of $659,495.07.
Ask for.
A motion, Bill, second Sherry, to approve accounts payable period September 10th, 2025 to October 14th, 2025. The amount of $659,495.70. Questions on the bills? Right, hearing none, let's call roll.
Gwen,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, the motion carries. Moving on. We've got Nor here. We do have a request for the rebuild of raw water including pump number 2. This is the second pump that we have 2 that draws water into the river plant. The plant is now 25 years old. This would be the second time that we've rebuilt these pumps. We do have it budgeted in this year's budget for 31,000. We've got about 21,100.
Because it does be within our budget, and we've already had that discussion at length during the budget time. I would move to approve the quote from Pro Seal Service Group, employees rigging the rebuild of raw pump number 2 with a total of $21,150.
I'll support that.
Motion Gwen, second Ken. To approve the quote from Pro Seal Service Group, employees rigging for the rebuild of raw pump number 2 for the total of $21,150. Questions for Nora or Danielle?
Yeah, so, you said it's been 25 years since these things have been built, so how long? Rebuilding these how long of a life does it extend rebuilding these things? And how soon before we have to buy new ones altogether?
This is not the second time, this is the second time since, well. We rebuild them about every 10 years. So this one might be the third time for this pump, we're kind of just at that point. When we rebuild them, we rebuild everything from the shaft, if the motor needs done, that's all done. So you're essentially getting a new one when we're rebuilding. So.
That answered it. Well, basically a refurbished brand new.
Whatever that pump needs it out there.
Further questions, council? Now, Lisa, call roll.
Tim,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, motion carries. Moving on, more water, the sludge building equipment surplus, post surplus auction.
I move to declare the unused items stored in the sludge building as surplus property and authorize staff to advertise, negotiate, and pursue potential sale, recycling, or other disposal options in the best interest of the village.
Support.
Motion Gwen, second Tim. Move to declare the unused items stored in the sludge building as surplus property and authorize staff to advertise, negotiate, pursue potential sale, recycling, or disposal options in the best interest of the village. Discussion. Most of it is obsolete, correct, the centrifuge, et cetera, so that's things that will be cleaned out for hopefully a newer solution, right, to help remove sludge from that process.
Yes, sir.
Right, and then any funding from that would go back into the water fund.
It will go into the water fund, and I will actually be asking you guys to specifically dedicate it to the sludge building until or unless we decide to go a different route would be my recommendation, but these are kind of unique parts and things, so we're hoping just by, if you guys are willing to let us surplus them, then we can start having some conversations to see what we're able to get from them and try to make something before they're just complete junk and we can't do anything but salvage that. So that's kind of our plan, but we will certainly keep you guys posted if we start having more serious conversations and things moving forward.
I have anyone else? Please call roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, motion carries. Moving on, bridge inspections. That time of the process was to inspect the two accessory bridges last one was conducted in 2022. Under quote from Anna Smith.
Vote to authorize Manic Smith Group to complete the National Grid inspections in the amount of $8,100.
Motion Bill, second Sherry to authorize Manic Smith Group to complete pedestrian bridge inspections in the amount of $8,100. Discussion.
Yes. Danielle, I truly appreciate you being up to date on the bridge inspections. I know prior to your hiring, those inspections were not done timely, and you have been keeping them on track. And I think Mike, you would agree with that as well. So thank you, because you've been under the board just longer. Yeah, so thank you for keeping things up to date. When I first came on the board, those bridges had not been inspected for any number of years. They had passed their dates, and I think it is critical to keep us moving ahead, being proactive versus reactive. Nice job. Thank you. Thank you.
They will be able to give us an update on that steel structure and give us a recommendation, and that'll be part of that quote. So
They will, yes, and we actually, Laura and I met with MDOT today, and they're hoping to get a copy of that as well, moving forward with our discussions with them. And we'll dual purpose this time.
yes. All right, anything further? Please call roll.
Gwen,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, motion carries. Moving on. Need to adopt the master plan.
And with pleasure, I would move to adopt a resolution approving the Blissfield Parks and Recreation Master Plan as the official guiding document for the village's parks and recreation facilities and programs, and to submit the adopted plans to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources for eligibility in grant program.
Motion Gwen, second Sherry to adopt the resolution approving the Blissfield Parks and Recreation Master Plan. That's the official guiding document for the village's parks and recreation facilities and programs. And to submit the adopted plan to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources for eligibility for grant programs. Discussion.
Yeah, I have one. When people say the bathrooms are in bad shape, is there any comments on what we need to do to make them good shape?
Part of this process for the master plan included a survey. And a lot of the comments were to replace or upgrade the restrooms. And all of that is actually included in the plan itself. The specific questions as well as the results from that survey are part of the plan.
I think we clean them, what, on Mondays, Fridays? What I remember. Currently,
Yes, I know we do Fridays, so I kind of wanna say it's not Mondays though, but. I'm second guessing with that, I wanna say it's Tuesday and Fridays, but don't quote me on that, I can confirm with Brent.
Are those bathrooms, I'm sorry, are those bathrooms open only certain times or are
We
they?
do winterize them and shut them down during the winter months, so they're only open in the summer. We typically start winterizing around now. Ellis Park, we always wait until after the Rotary bonfire and then winterize those, but it depends on weather as well. But it's usually end of October timeframe that we start doing all of that.
Are they open 24 hours?
They historically have been, we have shut them down from time to time because of the amount of vandalism, which has been substantially increasing. Unfortunately, we had at the Claire Bachmeyer bathrooms and Ellis get hit the worst, but Claire Bachmeyer few, a little, not too long ago, I don't remember the exact date, somebody burned the trash cans, ripped the plumbing and electrical off the walls. So it has been more than just graffiti, it's been pretty substantial, we've looked at some cameras, but there's a cost with that. So there have been times in the evenings where we have closed them and locked them up to try to eliminate some of that. And then our police department has been really good partners in trying to go out there and watch when they can. And obviously they're patrolling the whole village, but try to keep an eye on things.
Anything else for Parks and Rec?
Just simply that the Parks and Rec committee, our advisory board has worked diligently as well as working with Danielle on the new master plan. We know it is a fluid document, so there are things that will be obviously changing and moving as the next 5 years go along. The big deal, I think that warrants, the big deal part of it is that because of having this master plan, we will have the opportunity for the grants. And that's what is needed in order to go a hoop to jump, if you will. And that's what it is. And you know, we certainly took it seriously with the survey and where we plan to go from there. But it is going in the right direction as well.
And I did just want to thank all of the residents that provided public comment and the board for all their time. They've been working on this for the last year. So this has been a really big project that they've really put a lot of time into. And I just want to remind our residents that when we're doing things like this or anything, it's really important for us to have that feedback and those comments because that helps guide us into future planning and set goals. So having their input is vital to any of these things that we do. And we appreciate them taking the time to fill out those surveys or, like I said, send in those written comments.
All right, not even further, Lisa, call roll on the master plan.
Ken,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Tim,
yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes. Motion carries. Moving on, number 7 would be resolution supporting expanding the Michigan Historic Preservation Tax Credit.
Move to adopt the resolution supporting expansion of the Michigan Historic Preservation Tax Credit and to forward a copy of the adopted resolution to the Michigan Historic Preservation Network.
Motion, Bill, second, Sherry, to adopt the resolution supporting the expansion of the Michigan Historic Preservation Tax Credit, forward a copy of the adopted resolution to the Michigan Historic Preservation Network. Discussion. This is a good program, does help many downtowns and many business owners, property owners receive tax credits for improvements to their building. Laura, I'm sure this is something we would let the state know that we've adopted at council as well, since they want us to be historic preservationists. Again, it's a good program. So if there's nothing further, we'll call roll.
Tim,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes. Motion carries. Number 8, we've got 3 in front of us. I don't care if council for time wants to try to approve these across the board. If you're okay with that, Danielle. 8, 9, 10. Resolutions for liquor licenses, 1 for Yuletide Cheer, 1 for Yuletide Russian Bingo, 1 for Waltz Fest.
I'll make a motion to approve the special license. Danielle, you were okay with that, right?
I absolutely.
I'll move to approve the special license application and serve alcohol on November the 8th, 2025 in downtown Blissfield. I also will go to serving alcohol on November the 9th, 2025 in downtown Blissfield. And December the 12th, 2025 in downtown Blissfield.
Support.
One second bill to approve the special liquor license applications for the 8th, 9th, 12th of December for Yuletide Cheer, Russian Bingo, Waltz Fest as presented. Discussion. Lisa, call roll.
Sherry,
Yes.
Tim,
No.
Ken,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes. Carries. Number 11, capital project carry forward budget amendments, just for projects that we weren't able to complete in fiscal year 2024-25. Danielle's requesting that we shift them for this year's budget. Those down, starting out.
Correct, but these are already approved projects that we had projected as completed last fiscal year, they did not. So because they're completed this year, our auditors want to see them expensed in the same year. So we're just asking you to move them forward, again, they're already budgeted, so it's no impact to our bottom line or our coverage service at all.
Move to approve the resolution authorizing the capital projects budget amendment as presented.
Support. Gotcha, Tim. Motion Ken, second Tim, to approve the resolution authorizing capital projects budget amendment as presented. Questions or comments? If not, Lisa, call roll.
Bill,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, motion carries. Up next, yearly request from Levy now for $5,000 sport payment. Tim and Pat were both here last meeting. They gave us a presentation, so this will be a continued authorization of $5,000.
Move to approve the 5,000 annual support payments, Lenawee now, continued economic development services and regional support.
Support.
Motion Tim, second Bill, to approve the 5,000 annual support payments, Lenawee now for continued economic development services and regional support. Discussion. Lisa, call roll.
Sherry,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, motion carries. Moving on, request for a personnel policy amendment. And
So I'm really gonna turn it back to you, please. So I have provided some information in the agenda, and I know I'd sent information in my weekly summary as well. We've talked about this at the staff level for several months now. I would say generally across the board staff, we all have various opinions on this policy, but we see both sides of it. There is a liability concern, obviously. Our employees have the right to carry with a concealed permit license. This would not apply to our police officers who obviously carry as part of their duties and responsibilities. And we've gone back and forth. I've provided legal information and insurance information, and we've not really come to a general or a majority consensus. So we're bringing it to you as the policymakers to review and decide how to proceed. But if you have questions, I will certainly try to answer them. I know Dave sent you guys some information specifically. I did talk to the HR attorneys who said the exact thing, same thing as Dave. Insurance said that they're not taking a stance on this, that they'll deal with it when and if the issue were to arise. I'm open for questions.
I move to approve the amendment to the personnel policy restricting employees from bringing weapons into the workplace effective immediately.
Second. There, that motion dies. We're going to open up for discussion. I am personally an advocate of again, my previous, employer didn't allow me to carry on premises. I'm a believer. I kind of like the, don't ask, don't tell sort of policy. I totally get both sides. I get our insurance and our responsibility of being in the know of what's going on in the safety aspect of it. But again, I would much rather see some sort of policy where something is brandished, something is known, it is what it is. Again, everybody's who the be these days. If something were to happen, we're going to have some sort of liability or some sort of issue regardless. Reading that our insurance carrier here doesn't have a position on the matter really kind of supports my belief, my standing that again, as long as we have a specific policy in place that it's not brandished, that it's not talked about, that's not shown at work. My belief is that people should be able to carry, as the Second Amendment allows for CPO. I totally justify and understand the concern and that sort of aspect of liability that you may take there. But again, only thing to stop the bad guy with a gun is the guy with a gun. Sorry, but that's my.
I'm good with whatever you guys want to do, but like I said, it's coming to you guys, because you set the policy and staff's going round and round and not really come to a general consensus about this, but I believe that brandishing a firearm is against the law anyway, and if you have a concealed, in fact, you should hopefully be learning that when you do all of your.
Absolutely, and that's where I'd rather see a policy of if somebody's unfortunately to do that, then there needs to be some sort of policy that states there are ramifications from the village for that. And they need to be about.
Are you referring to like someone over here or someone? Like, say, I feel threatened, look what I got.
Yes.
Which would be brandishing.
It would be more so showing it at work, talking about it at work, and then again, and not in a self-defense sort of position. Again, there's no reason that anybody needs to know who's carrying right now. Maybe we are. So again,
I agree with you, 100%.
there's a safety factor, and there's obviously a liability and legal factor that we have to hold as decision makers, as policy makers. But again, I think if we set our policies in place to where we say, these are the ramifications if you don't follow the rules, then we're going to protect the village a lot better, and we should, our employees should know better, especially after going through what you need to for a CPL and the proper training. Again, that's my take on it. 7 of us, so we said I don't know.
Like, would we say no brandishing and no open carry? No, it's legal.
Do you want us to revise or bring a proposal that talks about no brandishing? I don't know off the top of my head, but I could come up with some wording and work with the attorneys that would make sense. And we could bring up that proposed policy amendment back, if that's what you guys are looking for. And that way you can see the language in front of you before you try to make a decision or opening feedback, just throwing that out as an option.
Yeah, I would say as well as conversation with our police force. In that, because it does affect them to a degree. Do you think that personal safety begins with your own personal responsibility? And I agree with the comments that have been made by my fellow councilman here, that the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And our police cannot be everywhere. And so I think we do need to have a policy. And then I think we also need to have something with some teeth in it that because just because you can pass a CPL license class does not mean you should carry, because it really is a mindset in some of the conversation that I've had prior to our meeting, how many people do you personally know that you would not want them to carry? Whether they've been in the military or even if they've been on a police force at some point. There is a proper attitude towards personal safety and as well as the safety for those around you. And some people are very good at being willing to step in the gap to provide that safety, and others are not, and it's okay. But I don't think that we ought to minimize the capability of those who are willing to step in the gap, willing to be trained, even if our policy states something like extra training that is approved by our police force. Not that they're going to stand alongside our policemen, but they're there in the absence of our police force. Is how I approach this. And so that's maybe, yeah, I would definitely like to see more information. Maybe this becomes a committee of the whole discussion. So, but to just outright say no, I can't agree with that.
We certainly want our employees to feel safe at work. We want, on both ends. And again, that's where I would prefer to see a very, like kind of alluded to, a very strict policy, a policy that's going to be followed by and understood by our staff, by our employees, by our supervisors, by you, Danielle, that it's going to be enforced. And, there's no gray out here, that's black and white, very understandable that you follow the rules, otherwise, some sort of penalty or, punishment needs to be made. So again, it just needs to be clear on what we expect out of our employees. And I think we should have faith in our employees to use the best judgment in regards to that.
Well, I'm going to step in and say that I am going to go follow the recommendation of David Lacoste. And that is the route that I would take, and his is stating, therefore, in my opinion, quote, it would be prudent for the village to pass a policy that states that all employees, other than those who are members of the police department, are not permitted to carry a firearm during the course of their employment, whether they are on village property or not. He obviously explains that, and I know public, you don't see that end of things, but we saw that on our emails, and that's the route that I would take as well with David Lacoste. On another note, I live in a very different world than a lot of you do, and in the school, guns are not there in school, and that's just what I am used to. So I'm not saying that's right or wrong, I'm just saying that's the life I live, and there are no firearms there, so that's my stance. Thank you for listening.
I would maybe add something where, because we know that some of our staff goes out after hours, after business hours. I personally have it where they're, if you're a CPL carrier, that you're allowed to carry it anytime. If there's some restrictions that as us as councils would maybe be more comfortable with someone that works outside of normal 8 to 5, 8 to 6 time frame. If that would be a time they could carry, I don't know. Maybe doing a committee of the whole on it. All right. Great thing. Come up with some good standards. I understand your feelings and your thoughts on it. I understand that too. But my knowledge that I have, I just have a hard time saying they can't.
And I like that we can have dialogue about it and nobody's getting upset. We can talk about it. And that's exactly what we're supposed to do.
Everybody lives in a different world, and I feel like our world now in society is requires.
I'm with fourth graders, so I don't know. It is.
It is.
Yeah. Parents, so don't feel comfortable around.
Maybe. Maybe.
And again, it's pretty good dialogue, I would think it would be better to quote, not address it as a policy,
Please do it in the house.
Yes,
Yes.
if that makes sense.
And anybody who's going through a CPR class, there's the legal side of that you have to go through as well, along with the shooting and all of that, that you have to. I mean, I've been through two of them myself personally, and they have an attorney there that discusses what happens, you know. It's not just going and getting your gun and going and shooting a gun and passing a test. I mean, there's some legality that is required along with the classes that you take. So you know what ramifications happen if you're not hearing properly or running shit on. I mean, that is against the law, so to be responsible. I just think that our employees would be responsible.
We want to add this to next week's agenda. Do you want to put in? Usually we don't have. Pretty busy agenda, don't we? Yeah.
Yes, we do. I would, if you're wanting committee of the whole, I would recommend November. Right now, I only have one other. I only have one other thing on November's agenda, and if need be, could move that if we had to this one.
All right. Council doesn't want any action on that. We'll let Danielle put that on the agenda for November. Number 14, Construction Board of Appeals. We do have a recommendation that we appoint Todd Treeler, which would fill our open spot on there. Todd is very well qualified. We need to watch that.
Move to appoint Todd Treeler to the Construction Board of Appeals for December 31, 2026.
Passport.
Motion Bill, second Sherry, to appoint Todd Treeler to the Construction Board of Appeals for a term ending December 31st, 2026. Any discussion? At least call roll.
Ken,
Yes.
Gwen,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes, motion carries. Moving on, reports. Any questions for police reports? Okay, we'll move on to administrator. Anything for Danielle?
I do have something for Danielle. I don't see it on the report. Danielle, regarding the full cover, at one point you were talking about the resale of that. I didn't think anything had happened. I say that because I believe it's still down. You share the status, please.
We did not have any interest in that and a couple other things, and we are actually going to be, we're trying to find an auction that's coming up, or there's a municipal bid website, and see if we can't either get it to auction or the municipal bid website. Either way would take either one would take a small fee, but again, it would not keep it sitting there, and we'll get it, we're planning on trying to get that sooner than later. Brent and I actually even talked about that this morning. You sensed it.
I did. Thank you, Danielle.
Anything else for Danielle? All right, anything for the treasurer?
Happy next time.
All right, got the zoning
By
administrator.
the way, I just want to say thank you for all of you that volunteered at the purpose. Thank you.
Good turnout. Zoning administrator report, any questions? Actually, quite a few construction projects in town, which is good. Moving on, council discussion. Sherry, we'll start with you. Ellen?
I don't have anything.
Tim?
No.
I do. Danielle, the pool line break for the slide that was repaired, where, can we find out where that? Obviously, we know where that was. Where was it caused by the lifting of the slabs, or?
Yes, it was caused by that. It was in the. It's kind of, I don't know, I'm such a visual person, sorry. So the slide is sitting here, and then there's the corner, and there's the wall inside the pool that separates the shallow area to the other side. It's right in that corner. So that slide line actually runs over,
Kind of around.
yes, comes over to the corner, then over, and then over by the, kind of runs past the splash pad into the building, which is not the direction any of us thought it would run because the building's the other side of this, the slide, but DPW did get it fixed.
How many miles?
Well,
Seriously, I mean,
we knew where the water was coming up
Right.
when the slide was broke, so we just kind of, they started from there, and they took out one section of concrete, and then they pulled a lot of, the concrete was pretty thick, but they pulled out a lot of dirt, and then we ran some air through it to see if we could hear where it was coming through at, and tracked it down that way, so huge thank you to DPW, and then they got the concrete installed, and Eric was finishing that for us, so. It's working. It is repaired, it will be operational next year.
Streetlights, again, notice a lot of streetlights. Can we have one of our night officers drive those and document against consumers, get those fixed? A lot of 223, again, if we're paying for them, they should work. For consumers, thank you. That's all I had. Gwen?
No, that was it.
Oh, Bill? Ken?
A traffic light, green is out at the Frosty Boy. You know, when you're facing east. The short one, this is the lower one. I just noticed that today.
We'll let them not know that.
Thank you. Small town, you find that stuff.
I know.
Appreciate it.
Hey, that next time.
Right.
That would-
Moving on, public comment, second round, anybody that cares to address council regarding anything? Feel free, please.
Okay.
It is open to the public, we do not do public comment at those, are really just generally work session for the council, but absolutely, yeah, they're also streamed.
And we don't make decisions at that point. It's just, we just have a kind of free for all.
Thank you.
Conversations.
clarification.
Yeah.
So that will be next week, October 20th, everybody gonna be here, we're gonna be discussing Boy Scouts Historical Society. The village contribution to that, also some RIGA representatives will be here for water and sewer discussions. We'll probably start with them so that they can get them on in and how we do that.
I'm sorry, what?
The RIGA.
Riga will be here at 7.
Yeah, 7.
Yes.
Boy Scouts and Historic will be first,
Okay,
and they can scoop.
sounds good. All right. Anything further from council? If not, we didn't do too bad.
Motion to adjourn at 7:11 PM.
Support.
Motion Bill, second Sherry, to adjourn 7:11 PM. Please call roll.
Tim,
Yes.
Gwen.
Yeah.
Ken,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
I know.
You never know.